Attack on Omaruhakeke. In the year 1965, the Te Wairoa district was governed by Maori. People lived and worked together happily. There were some Pākehā living here at this time. People gathered food by fishing. Maori also traded in goods nationally and internationally, and growing kai. Nannies looked after the mokopuna while their parents worked. The Wairoa district was divided into regions, each governed by its own leaders. Some were Paimarire while others were loyalists. Two Paimarire missionaries arrived to Wairoa in April 1865 to seek refuge from the British forces following the murder of Reverend Carl Volkner. Te Wairoa was one of the only two areas left in Aotearoa under the Maori government. The other area was Waikaremoana. This is where it all began. A hui was held by the leaders who asked the 10 missionaries to leave. The chiefs asked them to leave because they didn't want any trouble with the crown. The missionaries didn't leave because they had nowhere else to go. The British forces arrived in Te Wairoa. December 25, 1865. Te Waru Tamatea and some of his people had left their principal power site at Whatarua, Ohuka, and were at Omaruhakeke village and Marumaru. Crown forces sent a messenger asking Te Waru Tamatea to surrender. Te Waru Tamatea said, "We don't want to fight, but we are not going to surrender." The messenger returned and said, "They're not going to surrender." The crown sent the messenger back to the Paimarire, and she returned with Te Waru Tamatea's younger brother Horotio to have a hui. The hui ended with Horotio saying they wouldn't surrender. The crown then gave him 5 minutes to return to his people before they attacked. The British forces began to attack. The Paimarire set the harakeke and tuitui on fire to make a smoke screen. They were completely outnumbered, 75 Paimarire against 100 British soldiers, with another 100 loyalists to back them up. As the British forces stormed the whare, one woman managed to wrap some valuables in the flag. Just as they were about to be overcome, they managed to escape by fleeing to the Omaruhakeke river. They followed this back to Whatarua. Early the next morning, while the loyalists were chasing the Paimarire, the British forces destroyed Omaruhakeke village. The loyalists caught up with the Paimarire and they had another battle, and the Paimarire won. They returned to Whatarua and the loyalists returned to Marumaru. January 1866. Following the Omaruhakeke battle, Turanga and Ohuka Paimarire joined up with the Paimarire at Waikaremoana. British forces were headed to Ohuka to attack when they heard everyone was at Waikaremoana, so they headed there instead with the loyalists. They attacked the Paimarire at Te Kōpani. One of the loyalist chiefs, Ihaka Whanga, led this battle. The Paimarire were defeated. The Paimarire decided the crown was too powerful and they realized that they couldn't win. The surrender, May 9, 1866. The Paimarire surrendered to Pitiera Kopu on May 9, 1866 at Te Hātepe Pā. 2 weeks later, May 24, 1866. Pitiera Kopu held a large hui at Te Hātepe Pā. The Crown and Ngāti Kahungunu rangatira from Hawke's Bay attended. The result was the confiscation of 200,000 acres of land. This is officially called the Deed of Te Hātepe and includes the Kohauora block and the Upper Wairoa block. This includes the whole district of Ohuka. This story was retold by Cassidy, Blaze, Caleb, Chase, Justin, and Daniel of Ohuka School. Thank you to Nigel Howe from the Wairoa Museum for sharing your knowledge of our story and encouraging us to retell it.